morning. I can't do this, man.
Is Gloria here? Gloria's not here. Colby's not here. Donovan.
Donovan's
There's a
here.
guy right there. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Donovan. Did she give you a note? No note?
She let me slide.
She was not salty?
She let me
Alright.
slide
She's let me
today.
slide like the past 4 days. I haven't been like
Been-
on time one day this week.
That was. She was
Alright,
about
head
to
put your
tell
phone
me.
up, please, Donovan.
She can get me, she'll get me.
Alright. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the stock market. On your desk, you guys have some markers. You guys take a marker. Right on your desk. You guys gotta hold it. Right on your desk in front of you. Take just a couple of minutes and I want you to write down everything you know about the stock market. At least 2 things. Okay, like you probably know more than that, but let me have at least 2
I
things
know
that you think you know about the stock
you
market.
can make money or you can lose money.
It usually makes money or loses money.
That's 2 things.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Give me
Can I
at least
write
2.
Yeah. I like literally don't. I may just have to get a new zipper. Okay, so make money.
Goes up, it goes down, it can crash completely. No money. Can crash, it's important. Okay. Donovan, what you got?
So it goes up or down.
Okay.
You invest money to get money, and that's it.
What was the second one?
You invest money to get
You
money.
invest money to get money. Okay. Lori? What'd you write?
I put that it can go up and down and it can crash.
Can crash. Charlie?
I put it depends on the company performance.
Okay, Ike?
I said anyone can invest in it.
Okay. Alright. Okay, common misconceptions. Do we have to have a lot of money to invest in the stock market?
No.
No, right. How much can you invest? $1. Yeah,
I was
right?
gonna say as much as you feel like.
Yeah, there's a ton of stocks that are very inexpensive. You got those penny stocks, you've got the ones that are actually less than that. How much, what kind of accounts do you guys know of? Where can you invest?
Mutual funds.
Mutual funds? Well, no, I mean like, what's your trading platforms?
Oh, Robin.
Robinhood, what else?
That's what I use.
Coinbase, what else?
Oh, Crypto Line.
Crypto line, yeah, like there's a bunch of them that you can actually invest in, right? $20, you can buy a whole bunch of stocks, right? All right, how about this? Stock market always goes up.
No.
No.
No, because that's a myth, right?
Yeah.
Goes down, right? When did we have the last crash?
Maybe long soon.
Was it recent? Yeah. I don't know.
2018, 2008 too. Okay, there's some big ones there. If anybody's watching, so I've got this one pulled up here because that's my next question. If I had invested $1,000 10 years ago in Bitcoin, what's it at today? 82,000. You know what it was at yesterday? 86. So here, let's look at this. So if I'm gonna look at this graph here, this is Yahoo Finance, and I look back to, hey Jesse,
Come on.
if I look back to when it opened, okay, here's the date. Actually, that was more than I looked at yesterday. That's better. That's what I was looking at. Okay, so January of 2015, talking about 10 years ago. If I'd invested $1,000, about how many shares would I have gotten? Let's just say they were $250 a piece. Let's do easy math. I'd have gotten 4 shares, right? So my $1,000 in 2015 is now worth $82,000 times 4, because that's 1 share. So how much would I have made if I'd have invested $1,000 10 years ago?
320,
Yeah.
330,000.
Ish. $350,000, somewhere in that range. So can you make a lot of money in the stock market?
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so a couple things we're going to talk about today. First of all, like, what is the stock? Why do companies sell stocks? How do they help sell their stocks? What kind of stocks are they? And then what kind of different market factors are going to affect your stock prices? So we've said what we sort of know about the stock market, but what is a stock?
Small sliver of company.
Ownership in a company. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so if I'm a company and maybe I'm just starting my company and I need to raise money, there's two ways that I can do it. Okay, the first way you probably know. If it doesn't have anything to do with stocks. You need money. How do I get it?
Work.
Well, besides work.
Oh.
Where can I go to get money? Go to the bank, right? I can go to the bank and I can get a loan. So I'm a new company and I want to expand my product line. I want to hire new employees. I want to build a new facility and I need money quickly. I can go to the bank and I can get a loan. But what does that mean that my company is now in? Debt. Okay? So maybe I don't want to be in debt. Okay? But my company is huge and it's promising and there's a lot of people that want to own a piece of my company. So I can say, okay, let's start off. I'm going to have 1,000 shares of my company. But I want to retain ownership. How much of that do I need to keep?
At least 50.
Yeah, at least 50%. So let's just say I want to keep 51%. So I'm going to keep 510 shares of my company. So I retain ownership and controlling interest. And I'm going to sell out 490 shares. This is little pieces of ownership in my company, right? Okay, so I'm going to sell it out and everybody's going to buy it and I'm going to raise all of this capital. Is my company in debt? No, my company's not dead. I don't owe anybody that money back. You are taking a risk to come and buy into my company so that I have funds to do it. And I'm not, but if my company fails, do you get your money back?
No.
No, so that's a risk you take. So let me backtrack just a little bit. When we think about what the stock market is, I forgot to talk about, like, some people think it's a gamble, okay? How is the stock market different than gambling? You guys love blackjack, right? You're playing it all the time during breaks. What is it based on?
Luck.
Luck, right? You get some good cards, fantastic. You got a good hand, okay? Is the stock market, are you just luckily guessing good stocks? What are you doing?
Pattern of the charts.
Huh?
The pattern of the charts.
Well, you're looking. There's actual research that you can do. I can look at this and I can say, let me look at Bitcoin, for example. Maybe that's a little bit out of my price point. Maybe I'm looking at something that's a little bit more, I don't know. How about give me a decent stock? What would you think?
Tesla.
Tesla? Okay, you think that's going to be a good one? It's not going to be $84,000, that's for sure. Okay? All right, Tesla's $282.76 for one share of Tesla. Okay, that might be put it in a little bit better financial reach for some of us, okay? All right, so if I wanted to look and say, well, I don't know, is Tesla going to be a good stock? There's all this data, news, research, chart, community, statistics, analysis, all of this research that I can do to determine over the long haul, is Tesla making money or are they selling money? Not selling money, losing money, right? So difference between, here we go, taking a gamble and doing some actual hard data analysis and looking to determine, should I buy this stock? Well, I don't know, it looks pretty solid to me. Doesn't look like it's going up and down too much. Earnings history, it's all positive. We got a little bit of negative here, but for the most part, it looks like it's a pretty solid stock. It might be a safe place to put my money. Now, do you think that Tesla went down? If I look at over the last, when we had all these issues?
Like March 20th.
March 20th?
Yep.
Why? What was March 20th?
No, I've looked at it.
Oh, you've looked at it? Okay. It's down a little bit. It's down $16. Let's see if this chart will come up. Over the last month, maybe. Our internet is kind of slow, so maybe it'll come up in a minute. But at any rate, there's a lot of different factors there. So we talked about two different ways that a company can raise money. They can either sell stock or they can get a loan. Not great, right? Okay, so if they have sold their stock, right? And then you have your stock, how do you as a shareholder earn money? I invested this money, okay? Let's just say I bought $1,000. I had $1,000. I bought 10 shares of Nike. They were $100 a piece, okay? So how many shares do I have? Okay? So next week I decided, I don't like Nike anymore. I'm going to go buy some Adidas stock. I'm going to sell my Nike stock, and it's now $150 a share. Oh, I'm going to make. Okay? So now I've got 10 shares at $150 a piece. How much do I have? I have an extra $500. So that's called capital gains. So when I sell my stock as a shareholder, okay, I have capital gains. Okay? There's another way I can earn money. Companies sometimes give their stockholders dividends. Okay? My husband has this stock in Prudential. I don't know how long he's had it, where he got it from. It was like something that a company had wanted that he worked for bought him. And every quarter he gets a check in the mail. This check is not huge. It's nothing that it's like $5.28. It is not big at all. But he gets it every 3 months, okay? That's a dividend. So when the company does well, they send all of their shareholders a little bonus check, I guess is what you can get. So you get dividends and you get capital gains, okay? All right, how many different types of stocks are there? 4.
Oh,
Okay.
I was gonna say.
I've got 4 different kinds. You've got the large cap stocks, which is growth and income. Those are like your well established companies, things that are super stable. Coke, Amazon. Let me think. Who else? Microsoft. Yeah, those are like your big giant corporations. You can have some rocks and some waves in the stock market, and their stock is going to maintain pretty stable. Okay. Then you have your mid caps, kind of like the Goldilocks and the 3 bears. You got large cap, mid cap, small cap, and international. So the mid cap ones are, those are kind of like up and coming companies. They're still relatively stable, but they have a little bit of room for risk. A couple of your mid cap stocks would be like Chipotle. Oh, you like that? See, yep. And
That's a big dog.
no, it's not. It's a mid. Okay. And like Ulta Beauty. Okay. Why would you have some risk in those kind of companies? Why would you have some risk in those kind of companies?
They don't have a lot of foundation.
Well, I mean, they do, but what happens, let's just say, let me skip ahead a little bit. If all of a sudden there's all these news articles that Chipotle uses rat meat in their burritos,
Disgusting.
who's gonna go buy Chipotle? You're still gonna go buy Chipotle? No, you wouldn't. If they got some really bad press,
Not true.
they could potentially go out of business, right?
It's fresh.
It's not fresh. Okay? Same thing with Ulta. They are a retail store, but somebody else might come in and get a market share of that, right? Okay? So it's a mid-size, but it's got a little bit of risky. All right, the second to last one is the small cap. Those are very aggressive ones, okay? Those are gonna be like your startups, your biotech. They could be very profitable if they take off very quickly, but they're also gonna be really risky. And then the last one is an international one. So that if you are building your portfolio, your stock portfolio, and you wanna diversify and you wanna make sure that all of your eggs aren't in one basket, you put some stocks in international because they're going to be relatively more stable. What happens if the U.S. economy kind of tanks and all of your stocks are in the U.S. stock market? Okay, that would be bad. Okay, so you want to have a little bit of some international diversity in that one. All right, let me back up just a little bit when I talk about where do I sell stocks. And I'm not talking about Robinhood or Coinbase or what was that other one you said, Jake? Cryptoline. Okay. Think about the Wolf of Wall Street. Okay, where are they selling their stocks? Big one. In the Big Apple. New York
City.
Stock Exchange. You guys don't watch movies?
Never seen
Okay. Huh?
Never seen.
You never seen that one? Okay, but you've seen movies where you got the big pit, people are waving their little ticker tags and stuff like that? Yes, okay. So the New York Stock Exchange is going to be one of your oldest places. It is where you're going to trade a lot of the well-established blue chip stuff. It's probably one of the biggest ones in the world. Then you have the NASDAQ, which is another stock exchange. That's going to be a lot more of like your technological companies and stuff like that. Apple, Google, Amazon. Those are traded there. You got the London Stock Exchange. You got the Tokyo Stock Exchange. So those are your big four. Okay. All right. What is going to affect stock prices?
Reputation.
Reputation. Yeah, I kind of alluded to it when we were talking about Chipotle having rat meat. Well, I'm just making it as an example. Okay. So what happens if the company is doing really, really well or really, really poor? How is that going to affect their stock prices?
Either positively or negatively.
Right, it's either going to go up or down. Same thing with news media, okay? If there's a big scandal, if people are getting sick because of the food, if, I don't know, think about Disney, okay? What's Disney stock doing right now?
Going down.
Why?
Because of that dumb movie.
Because they had some poor performance and some bad publicity for it, okay? What about the economy? If you have a lot of money in your pocket, look at your budgets, okay? We've been working on personal finance projects, right? At the end of the day, if you have a lot of money left over, where could you potentially put it?
Savings or in stock.
In savings or investment. But what happens if the economy gets really bad and grocery prices go up and gas prices go up and you're barely making it? Are you putting money in the stock market? Probably not, okay? So the economy is going to be a big ticket item for that one. All right, and then the last one is investor sentiment, okay? Why do you buy something?
Because you like
Why?
it.
Because you like it, because somebody told you it was a great thing, right? Okay, why is the stock market any different?
I don't think it is.
Okay, if you are a huge Nike fan,
Yeah.
and you just absolutely refuse to wear Under Armour, are you going to go buy their stock?
No.
Probably not. Even if it's doing well, you're probably not going to go do that. Okay, so we looked at this Bitcoin. So I want to do one more. I want to do a quick.
Can we do a Chipotle one?
Can we do a Chipotle one?
Yeah.
Sure. Let's see. Because that's your favorite.
Yeah. I actually might buy some, but I'm not getting it.
Well, let's look at it. See if it would be a good idea for you. All right, Chipotle Mexican Grill. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing that.
All right. Couple things as we're looking at here. This is called its ticker symbol. Okay. Most stocks have a 3 to 4 digit or letter code that's next to their name that allows you to find their stock easily on any kind of search engine. Okay. So Chipotle is $52.02 at close yesterday afternoon. Okay. It was up 35 cents. Okay. So if I wanted to look and see, I'm actually going to click on it, but I can look at historical data or I can look at statistics if I want to see like how is it done over a year period. I could have looked at that chart and that would have been, I could have looked at every day, or I can kind of look at statistics and I can see that 52-week low was 47.55 and a 52-week high was 69. So where is it at right now? 52. So it's literally pretty much real close to its low.
But is it because of like fake articles saying they're closing?
It could have been.
That's from,
It could have been. I mean, when do you think that lots of people eat Mexican food in America?
where?
Why?
Cinco
Cinco de Mayo. So it wouldn't shock me to find out that 52-week high was probably around Cinco de Mayo, right? But there's not a big change. You're talking about $22 variation in that stock. So it's not like this huge, gain or loss. So if I'm thinking about investing in that company, I think my money's pretty safe there?
Yeah.
Pretty safe. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be able to retire if I put $1,000 into that stock and then sell it if it's only a $20 range. What's the key to the stock market? What do you have to have? Lots of
Experience, right? Time.
time. Okay? The stock market is a long-term investment. It's not, yes, you can put some money in, you can hit a stock that's really hot, you can sell it, you can start turning some quick profit, but ultimately, long term is where you're gonna have, because it's gonna go up and it's gonna go down, okay? All right, so let's do this quick little worksheet together. It is a researching a stock, so we'll do it together. There you go. Give those to them. Y'all are gonna have a stock market project. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. And when I say project, it's gonna be more along the lines of let's keep up with some stocks. I'll explain it in a minute. All right. Yahoo Finance Exploration. Yahoo. What do you say? Yahoo? Yahoo. All right. We're gonna research a stock. Which one do we want? And don't tell me Chipotle. We'll do something different.
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Okay. What if you had bought McDonald's stock back in the beginning? Do you think you could retire at this point?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe so. Do you think you get free fries?
Maybe.
Why?
Actually,
oh,
on Friday.
I can't
on
spell
Friday,
it.
They got free fries Friday.
McDonald's.
Free fries Friday.
I got a 5-piece or $5 20 piece.
All right, McDonald's Corporation.
Hooking up, bro. Maybe hooking up.
All right, we're looking at McDonald's. What's its stock ticker symbol?
No result.
ND.
What? I just had it. No, there it is.
MC, you go.
MCD. Okay. All right, what is its current stock price? $311.58. Okay. Who remembers what did I say? Where do I go to find out where that 52-week high and low is?
Statistics.
Statistics. Okay. Let's look. Very slow today. All right. 52-week high and low. What's it at?
High is 326.32.
326.32. Low? 243.53. All right. What is the CEO's name? Where do you think I could look to find out?
Profile.
Profile?
Yeah. Or holders. Wait, no.
Let's check.
Profile.
Profile. Okay. Who's the CEO? Somebody try to tell me what that is.
Christopher.
Kimsky.
Kimzinski.
Kim.
Kimzinski? Okay. All right. Where is it headquartered?
Oh, Illinois.
Chicago, Illinois. Okay. All right. Is this, I mean, we know what McDonald's is, right?
Food.
Do you think there's someplace in Yahoo Finance that's going to tell me what it actually, well, maybe there. Okay. So it is a restaurant. So their main services and products are food. Okay. All right. Then it says check the news section. Find one recent headline about the company and summarize it in one sentence. So news is going to pull up under Yahoo Finance once it loads again. Articles about McDonald's. Okay? So you could literally choose one when you're doing your research project. Let's skip that for now. Okay. Would you invest in this company's stock?
I mean, I would. But
Why?
it's just a big company.
Because it's a big company? Why else? How long has McDonald's been around?
Long time.
A long time, so it's pretty stable?
Yeah.
Don't think it's going anywhere?
Yeah, it's not skyrocketing.
It's not going to skyrocket. Would you say it's an aggressive stock or a moderate stock? Probably so. What do you think is going to be an aggressive stock at this point?
That's something that just came up.
Games?
Yeah.
fads, trends, okay? At your age, should you be investing in moderates or aggressives?
Moderates.
At my age,
Oh.
should I be investing in moderates or aggressives?
Moderate.
Why?
You ain't got much time.
Because I don't have much time to have my money. I can't afford to be super aggressive with it and then expect to have it, growing rapidly to retire. You do. You have lots of time. So you guys can weather the storms of ups and downs in the stock market that are always going to happen. All right. Do we feel pretty comfortable with Yahoo Finance? Okay, what's the other thing that you can do if you can't find information? Yeah, like there's gonna be something. So that being said, let me go ahead and give you your next thing. So tomorrow, you guys are all going on your field trips, right? Is anybody gonna be here tomorrow?
I might.
You might. Who's going on the horticulture field trip?
Ooh.
Just Ike in here? Everybody else
Let's
going to
go
the
to
crime?
safe
We don't like fun.
Let's go.
Huh?
I can't get the zipper back.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
First things first.
Miss Roseland.
Yeah.
For the packet, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you I'm not up to date yet.
Okay. Can you get it to me by the end of the day?
Probably not, but I can get pretty close.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
And the
after
birthday
class.
in the Florida.
Yes. No, just hold on to that.
Hey, this is the last day of school.
Okay.
Last
Stock
day of
market
school.
project. When's it due?
The last day of school.
Last day of school,
That's crazy.
right? Okay, so you are gonna have, how many weeks do we have after we come back from spring break?
4?
5, okay? Yes, look at it. We got 25
5
more
school
days, which is how many weeks?
50.
5, okay, but that 5th week is y'all's senior week, so we have 4 weeks. How long do you think this project's gonna take?
4 weeks.
4 weeks. Alright, so here's the project. You are gonna have $25,000 theoretically to invest. You have to invest in only 4 stocks, and it has to be 1 each. You have to have a mid, a small, a large, and an international. Okay? So there's not anywhere on here that tells me what kind of stock it is. So this is where you're gonna have to go outside of Yahoo Finance to say, okay, just for example, I pulled this up already, and I just randomly selected, hopefully this still has my things. Okay, it randomly selected 4 different stocks. Okay, so you can use this this tool. It was a stock comparison here on the side panel that it had add stock. I added all 4 of them, but before it said Nike, it just said add stock and it was a plus. So once you get your 4 stocks chosen, you can keep them here, and then all the data that you're gonna need for the project will be right at your fingertips and you won't have to be going. But I said Nike, Amazon, what is this one? Roblox? That's your games, right?
Yeah.
What game is it y'all play?
Roblox.
It's
Oh, that's what the
Roblox.
name of the game is? Okay, and then Tesla.
So-
Okay, so if I had 1 mid, 1 large, 1 small, and 1 international, I'd be good here. I don't think I have that. So that's the part that you guys are gonna have to do. Once you've selected which stocks you wanna watch and buy, do some additional research on what kind of stock is Nike. Is it a mid, a large, a small, whatever it is, okay? All right, so you're gonna have your 4 stocks and you're gonna watch them. This is not something that you can wait until the last minute, okay? This is what we're gonna be doing for the rest of the school year when we come back from spring break. So on Monday, when we come back, you are gonna have a research day and you are going to select your 4 stocks in class and you're going to fill out these sheets. So this first page has stock 1 and stock 2 and it's front and back. You're gonna find out what's the name, the stock symbol, where is it traded, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, etc. Who's the CEO, where is it located, what do they sell or what do they make, who are their major competitors. Okay, that's the front page. Second page is where you're gonna get into your data, okay? 52-week high and low and when that date occurred, okay? And then, let's see, current selling price, what's the dividend, what's the financial class, the international, small, mid, or large, what is their revenue, profit, and then a summary. Your opinion of buying this stock. Like, why did you choose that particular stock? Understand? Okay, so you're gonna do that for all 4 of them. That's what we're gonna do on Monday when we come back from spring break. You're researching and selecting them, okay? Then you're going to create a stock market project report. You're gonna take, what's the purchase price? For example, if I'm buying Nike, when I buy it, it's $64.96, okay? How many shares am I gonna purchase? I have $25,000. I'm not telling you how to split it. You can spend $20,000 on one stock and then split the other $5,000 amongst the other 3. However you want to do it, okay? You have free reign on your $25,000. Don't forget that there are sometimes broker fees in here, and that's why it tells you to multiply it by 1.05 because that's the fee.
Why 1.05?
Just because it's like a 5% standard
Oh, okay.
for the brokerage fee. Okay, so then you'll have your total cost of stock 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure it does not go over $25,000. Okay, and then you got grand total. That cannot be more. Now, if you spend $24,996, great. That's fine. You can go a little under, but don't go over. All right. Then you're going to skip this one because if you look at the directions, it says use the last closing price listed week 4. Well, we're not there yet. Okay, so you're going to skip that to get us in. You got a graph that you're going to graph it over the 4 weeks, so that comes at the end. Here's the part y'all are going to love.
Sorry.
Okay,
Damn it.
stock market project portfolio checklist. Okay, this is your last major grade, but there are some checkpoints in here. So some of y'all did really great on all your checkpoints in your personal finance project, but now you've got that last checkpoint, which is the major grade. So that's what y'all have due today. So we'll make sure we get that done before the end of the day. But each one of these you'll notice, portfolio organization is worth 5 points. You have a title page. You have a table of contents. You have to number your pages, and then you have to organize your portfolio in the same order as this checklist. It should be pretty easy, right? Follow the directions. Step 1, step 2, step 3, keep it in order, okay? Your research of the companies, that's what we're doing that first day, okay? And you have to type a reflection. Okay, so every day in class, you should have your computer and you are going to be typing something of why did I choose this stock? That's what the first one is all about. What do you believe? Why did you do it? What information should you research before you invest? Where do you research it? And then what are your initial expectations of your stocks? So you're going to predict in 4 weeks, what is Nike going to do? What is, I don't know why it went away. I'm going to predict the expectation that I have for all 4 of my stocks. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, and then you're going to purchase the stocks, and you're going to do another reflection. Now, somebody's going to ask me, can I use ChatGPT? It cannot write it for you. If you want to word vomit your ideas into it and ask it to help you write it and then revise it, fine. Use your resources, but don't copy and paste what it spits out for you, okay? All right, any questions about your stock market project? Okay, last thing. Let's look at this. Recap of today. Stock market basics. If I was to give you this as a quiz, okay? Vocabulary matching. What is a stock? What? D? G, absolutely. Small ownership piece of a company. How about a shareholder?
C.
An investor who owns stock in a company, okay? Stock exchange, place where stocks are bought and sold, okay? Capital gains,
D.
yep, the amount of money earned when a stock is sold for more than its purchase price. Dividend,
E.
regular payment made by some companies to their shareholders, okay? Ticker symbol,
D.
Okay, unique set of letters representing a publicly traded company. And market price.
F.
Yep, current price at which a stock is trading. Alright, true or false? The stock market is just like gambling. False. True or false? You need thousands of dollars to start investing in stocks. Yep, we can do it for a very little amount. Price of stock never changes. False. Owning stock means you own part of a company. Okay? And the stock market has ups and downs, but generally grows over time.
True.
Okay, what did I tell you that number was? How much does it generally grow over time, long term? 12%. Good job. Okay, don't worry about those reflection questions, but I do want to ask you guys to take your pens again, right on your desk so that I can see it after you leave. What is one thing that you might still have a question about for the stock market, or one key takeaway from today? All right. Anybody have any questions about stock markets, stocks, stock project, or something else you might want to learn about the stock market? And if somebody can figure out a crystal ball of what the next big stock is, then I want in too. Does anybody know anybody that does really well in the stock market?
My uncle does.
Your uncle does? Is that his job, or did he just?
No, it's just something kind of spends time with.
Yes. If there's anything that you want to know about the stock market or anything else.
Do you want these?
What is that? No, you can just leave them. All right, with regard to your personal finance project, because y'all didn't have time to work on it in class today, you should have used your time from Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, although I didn't have you yesterday. And they are due today. Get it to me by the end of the day if you don't have it done now. Okay? You're done? Thank you. You're done too? Awesome. Look at you guys. If you don't have a question, that's okay.
Ms. Rosen,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Miss Rosen.
You
You were just,
You 5, bro.
you were just such an amazing
You got
teacher.
homework.
I just like,
Did I
I think-
actually hit record? I really hope I did.
I agree.
Yeah.
Got the little red thing.
Okay, good.
Just
Fine.
Alright.
Alright, what time do we get out? 8:50?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just see us down.
What do you mean?
Sometime.
You're gonna turn in that packet and you're gonna have, wait a minute, guys, you know what? Hold on. Yours, when you turn in your stock market project, it is going to be, your papers. It's like legitimately you staple it all together. Cause you'll have your 2-page reflection on why you chose your stocks, you'll have a 2-page reflection. Now it says double space. If you do a page and a half, fine. Just don't give me a paragraph. Like the questions that you have to answer to do this project are not something that you can answer in a paragraph. If you answer all the questions, you'll have a page, page and a half. So don't stress if I don't have 2 pages exactly. I'm okay with that as long as you answer all the questions. I will give you guys this tomorrow, or even, no, I won't see you tomorrow. I'll give this to you on Monday when you come into class, because this will be your checkpoint sheet. So this is where all of your grades will come from. So every week, you are checking the price of your stocks and writing them down. You can't not do this and get to the end of the project, okay? Because then you wouldn't have all the data that you needed to see where your stock went up or down, okay? All right, sounds good.
How bad? Well, you know, it's not that hot.
What is that? That's gonna, oh, how do you do your portfolio organization? You'll have your cover sheet and your table of contents, and it'll be cover sheet, your table of contents, and it'll just be stapled together and turned in. Yeah, and then I'll use that to grade it, yes. Yeah, you done?
Oh, yeah, have that.
Yes. Anybody else have their, personal finance project done?
That's rusted month, bro. That's like
No. You can just throw those away.
I'm just gonna leave it.
Yes.
for just a-
Thank you, ma'am.
You wanna come do an announcement for the?
All right, any questions? Good? Y'all are good. Have a great day.
First, you dropping shoes. Yeah, no, I'm joking.